Imagine a vast, deep-water harbor, its surface shimmering under the tropical sun, stretching out toward the horizon. This harbor is shielded by rugged mountains. Welcome to Subic Bay in the Philippines, a place where nature and history converge. For centuries, Subic Bay has been a strategic gem in Asia, sitting right on the edge of the South China Sea, one of the world's busiest and most contested shipping routes. Control of Subic Bay means having a front-row seat to everything that happens in this critical waterway, from commerce to security. Its naturally deep waters allow even the largest ships, massive cargo vessels and imposing warships, to dock with ease, a rare and valuable feature that few harbors can offer. The bay's existing shipyards and airfields make it a ready-made base, unmatched in the region, capable of supporting both commercial and military operations. For the Philippines, Subic Bay is more than just a port. It's a symbol of national pride, resilience, and economic hope for generations. After decades as a military base, it was reborn as a thriving commercial hub, fueling jobs, local businesses, and economic growth throughout the region. Now, as global tensions rise and new challenges emerge, Subic Bay is stepping back into the spotlight, blending economic power with renewed military significance and strategic importance. Its return to the world stage is a major event, sending ripples across the Pacific and drawing the attention of nations far and wide. Understanding Subic Bay's unique value is key to grasping the bigger story of power, partnership, and shifting alliances in Asia. This is a story about alliances, national resilience, and the delicate balance of peace in a rapidly changing world, where every decision matters. Subic Bay isn't just a place, it's a central character in the ongoing drama of international relations, shaping headlines and futures alike. Its strategic rebirth is shaping the future of the region, influencing both local communities and global strategies. And that's where our story begins, at the heart of the Pacific, where history, ambition, and destiny meet. The United States and the Philippines share a bond forged in war, a connection that has stood the test of time and history. Over the years, this relationship has only grown stronger, shaped by decades of steadfast alliance and mutual respect. Their partnership began in the crucible of World War II, when American and Filipino soldiers fought side by side, sharing hardships and victories on the battlefield. This shared sacrifice and camaraderie led to the signing of the Mutual Defense Treaty in 1951, a solemn promise that each nation would stand by the other in times of need. For decades, U.S. bases like Clark Air Base and Subic Bay anchored this alliance, serving as vital hubs for joint training, cooperation, and rapid response to regional threats. During the tense years of the Cold War, Subic Bay became the largest U.S. naval facility overseas, playing a crucial role in maintaining peace and security throughout the Pacific region. Filipino and American service members worked together daily, building trust, understanding, and a sense of shared purpose that went beyond official agreements. This wasn't just a treaty on paper, it was a living, breathing partnership, tested and proven through countless joint missions and exercises. The alliance's strength comes from decades of shared experience, personal relationships, and the deep bonds formed between generations of soldiers. Today's renewed cooperation builds on this solid foundation, as both nations adapt to new challenges and evolving security needs. Both nations know each other's procedures, share equipment, and pursue the same goal, a stable, peaceful region where their people can thrive. The return to Subic Bay isn't a new beginning, it's old friends picking up where they left off, ready to face the future together. This deep-rooted trust and familiarity make joint action possible, even in the most uncertain and challenging times. The alliance adapts to changing times, but its core values and commitment remain unchanged, echoing through history. Together, they face new challenges with the strength of history, friendship, and shared sacrifice behind them. That's why this partnership endures, rooted in the past, thriving in the present, and looking confidently toward the future. In the early 1990s, a powerful wave of nationalism swept across the Philippines, stirring a renewed sense of pride and unity among its people. Citizens from all walks of life began to question the presence of foreign military forces on their soil, and a growing movement called for the country to chart its own course. Many Filipinos believed it was finally time to stand independently, without the shadow of foreign military bases dictating their future. The desire for self-determination grew stronger, echoing through the halls of government and the streets alike. In 1991, the Philippine Senate made a historic decision by voting not to renew the U.S. base agreement, a turning point that would reshape the relationship between the two nations and alter the course of Philippine history. Fate intervened in dramatic fashion. Mount Pinatubo erupted with devastating force, burying Clark Air Base in ash and causing severe damage to Subic Bay. The natural disaster accelerated the inevitable changes already underway. The U.S. departure became inevitable, as both political will and natural events aligned to bring an end to nearly a century of American military presence. In November 1992, the American flag was lowered at Subic Bay for the last time, marking the end of an era and the beginning of a new chapter for the Philippines. The exit left a void. Thousands of jobs vanished overnight, and Olongapo City faced sudden economic hardship. Families struggled, businesses closed, and uncertainty loomed, but Filipinos are resilient, and their spirit would not be broken. Instead of decline, the community rallied together and transformed the base into the Subic Bay Freeport Zone, a thriving hub for trade, manufacturing, and tourism. Warehouses became bustling factories, barracks were converted into hotels, and the once quiet port now buzzed with commercial activity, drawing investors and workers from across the country. This remarkable reinvention became a source of national pride, proving to the world that the Philippines could not only survive, but thrive on its own terms. Yet, as the world changed and new challenges emerged, Subic Bay's strategic value would soon be called upon again, reminding everyone of its enduring importance. The bay's story was far from over. Its waters, once filled with warships, now held the promise of new beginnings and opportunities. Its transformation set the stage for a new chapter of growth and innovation, as new infrastructure projects and businesses took root. Subic Bay's legacy of adaptation continues to shape the nation's future, inspiring young Filipinos to dream bigger and reach higher. And as regional tensions rise, its strategic importance would soon return to the spotlight, ensuring Subic Bay remains a key player on the world stage. 2 decades after the U.S. left, the South China Sea had changed. China was building islands and flexing its power. Filipino fishermen were blocked from their own waters, and the Philippines needed stronger defenses. In 2014, the Philippines and the U.S. signed the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA. EDCA didn't bring back old-style U.S. bases. Instead, it allowed U.S. forces to use parts of existing Philippine bases for training, logistics, and disaster response. The U.S. could rotate troops and pre-position supplies while helping upgrade Philippine facilities. This modern approach strengthened both militaries without permanent bases. Initially, 5 sites were chosen, mostly air and army bases. As regional tensions grew, both countries agreed to expand EDCA in 2023, adding 4 new sites. This move signaled a deeper, more flexible partnership. The alliance was adapting to new threats and realities. EDCA became the framework for renewed cooperation. It set the stage for Subic Bay's dramatic return. The partnership was ready for the challenges of the 21st century. The real shock came when Subic Bay was named among the new EDCA sites. After 30 years, U.S. forces would again have access to this legendary port, but not as a massive base. Under EDCA, U.S. ships and personnel could use Subic for joint training, resupply, and repairs on a rotational basis. This was a smart, modern solution. The Philippine government, under President Marcos Jr., saw this as essential for national defense. U.S. access to Subic Bay strengthens the Philippines' ability to protect its territory and maritime rights. For the U.S., Subic Bay's location is unmatched, closer to the South China Sea and Taiwan than any other base. This proximity means faster response to crises, from natural disasters to military threats. The move was presented as defensive and stabilizing, not aggressive. Both nations emphasized their commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific. Subic Bay was back, at the heart of regional security. Its strategic value had never been clearer. The announcement about Subic Bay stunned Beijing. China had worked to pull the Philippines away from the U.S., expecting the alliance to fade. Instead, the partnership roared back to life, catching China off guard. Chinese officials criticized the move, warning it would endanger peace and drag the Philippines into conflict. But U.S. access to Subic Bay changed the strategic equation. Now, American forces could operate right on China's doorstep. This made any aggressive action riskier for Beijing and showed that smaller nations can push back with strong allies. The Philippines' decision was a major setback for China's regional ambitions. Subic Bay's value is greater than ever. Its location near the South China Sea, one of the world's busiest shipping lanes, makes it vital for global trade and security. With U.S. and Philippine navies operating from Subic, freedom of navigation is better protected. The bay's proximity to Taiwan adds another layer of deterrence against conflict. In a crisis, Subic could serve as a staging area for humanitarian or military operations. It's also crucial for disaster response, allowing rapid delivery of aid after typhoons or earthquakes. The economic benefits are real: more jobs, more business, and stronger local communities. Subic Bay is a linchpin for defense, disaster relief, and prosperity. Its strategic, humanitarian, and economic roles make it irreplaceable. That's why Subic Bay matters so much today. U.S. access to Subic Bay isn't about starting war, it's about preventing one. This is deterrence, making aggression too costly for any would-be attacker. The alliance sends a clear message: don't even think about it. Other Southeast Asian nations take heart, seeing unity against coercion. Joint training at Subic Bay makes both militaries stronger and more capable. A strong defense posture opens the door to real diplomacy. By balancing power, the alliance makes peaceful solutions more likely. Subic Bay is a cornerstone of regional stability. Subic Bay's return is proof that old friendships can find new purpose. This isn't history repeating, it's a modern partnership for today's challenges. The Philippines gains security and sovereignty, the U.S. upholds its commitments. The alliance is built on trust, shared values, and a century of cooperation. There will be challenges, China's pressure, political debates, but the foundation is strong. Subic Bay's reopening is a landmark event, reshaping Asia's security landscape. It strengthens both nations and signals a new era of cooperation. This partnership aims not to provoke conflict, but to preserve peace in the Indo-Pacific. Subic Bay's story is just beginning, its future is as vital as its past.